everyone, it's Queen Sarah here once again, and I'm interviewing another amazing project that is part of the SEO platform. Today, I have a Jonathan here, who is the CEO of RYIUnity. Hello, Jonathan.
Hi, great to be
How's it
here, and
going?
thanks for having me.
Awesome. So, can you tell me a little bit more about RYIUnity? What does it stand for? What the name means? What do you want to bring to the space? Tell me a little bit more about the history.
Yeah, I would say the biggest two things for us, RI Unity was it originated as 100% community-owned project, and we didn't really know the direction of like what we were going to do with this as the community. We owned it 100%. We were guiding the project. And then I really dove into the project. And originally, I was all started. This is like 8-9 months ago. Was I was selected as community manager,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of as we progressed over time, and it started with RYI token, RY Unity.
Mm-hmm.
And what we wanted to do originally was create. Once we kind of got established, the first month or two, it's like, okay, we want to create a safe ecosystem, cryptocurrency ecosystem, blockchain ecosystem for the community to be able to come into, because it was very volatile. It's still pretty volatile, cryptocurrency, unfortunately, and it's kind of the growing pains we're going through. But at the time, it was like super volatile. This is like December, January of last year. It's crazy. It
Fantastic
was
times,
nuts. It was
wasn't
like the
it?
wild, wild west. Yeah, it
It
was
was
like
fantastic,
dangerous,
wasn't
like,
it?
yeah, and everybody knows it. You hear all the horror stories and stuff like that. So what we wanted to do was create this just like really safe, secure, real, just positive, honest environment where people could come trade cryptos. We were going to have a super energetic team, and that's kind of how it started. And then we've just grown so fast from there. And RY Unity kind of represents, the word unity represents the community, because that is the focus. And the whole idea is like, we want to be able to bring financial freedom to everybody,
Mm-hmm.
essentially. That's kind of like the vision, the goal, the big picture of ROI Unity in a nutshell.
Awesome. I love it. Can you actually, so you are a lot about the community. So can we find out a little bit more about the team behind the RYIUnity and how you all come together into this?
Yeah, so currently what we have right now, so we have myself as the acting CEO of the company. We registered as a company March, April timeframe. Like I said, we had about 3-4 months into this, and we realized, okay, we want to take this to the top. We want to compete with the best, and that's 100% what we're striving for. We're taking the community, we're taking the company, we're taking the ecosystem, and we're going to strive to compete with top tier. Um, and so essentially, what we did was we started building this ecosystem, and right now it's just progressed so heavily over the last like 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we'll go into developments a little bit later as far as like where we're at. I mean, we originally started with like a farming platform. Like that's how, like, it was like that for a couple months. Crypto is still trying to figure itself out. So we were just trying to really kind of find ourselves within everything. And I think I just completely went off topic. So you might have to reshoot the question one more time.
I was asking about the team behind the Unity.
Oh, okay. Sorry. See, there I
It's
went.
okay.
Yeah. So you have myself, the CEO, and then we have a chief technical officer who comes from the commercial sector,
Yeah.
and so he's kind of my right hand man right now. And so we're both public. As far as so we have a couple other team members that are supporting the team effort. But as far as the public individuals, you have myself, very public, my CTO, very public. Before this, he worked with Newegg and a bunch of large tech industry companies. And so he came onto this. We're both actually prior Marines. So we have kind of that veteran background in common.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say the biggest thing that really separates us is the emphasis on partnering. So we have a huge blockchain development support from commercial companies.
Mm-hmm.
Then that was something I really tried to work on, and trying to get away from that whole anonymous team support. I found that to be kind of difficult at times. And I really wanted to build the confidence for the community and just people that are going to come on to our, well, and to our community, but also like our ecosystem and utilize our digital currency. And so we partnered with Solly Labs. We're working heavily with a team called Eat the Blocks, who's pretty popular. They have an amazing development team. And Solly Labs is a commercial company out of here in Los Angeles, too. So that's pretty much the core of what we have right now.
Awesome. Thank you very much. At the start, you actually mentioned about the community side of the part that comes into the ROI ecosystem, but you also have the token. Can you explain a little bit how does the RYI token come to the bigger picture of it?
Yeah, so RYI, the token, originally we were on Ethereum network, and it's a yield aggregator. We ended up basically doing a version 2 back in March. We wanted to upgrade it and kind of make it more beneficial for our long-term growth. But so we have two tokens, and they pretty much the whole goal was to create what I always call it the full spectrum DeFi platform. And so there was a lot of, I mean, when you think about that picture, that encompasses a lot. And so what we did is, so we have 2 tokens right now. We have RYU, which is a yield aggregator. If you think back to the days of last fall when RFI came out, they introduced yield aggregation, frictionless yield aggregation. And everybody was like, oh my God, what is this? You mean I don't have to stake and don't have to do this? So it's like, and it attaches to third-party platforms, which is really cool. So that is something that was amazing new protocol. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to keep that and be able to utilize it, but not just utilize it, maximize it. So we have RYU, which it's a 1.75% frictionless yield. So just for holding it, you get more. But the really cool thing about that protocol is it attaches to any third-party platform. So we created our mobile app, which I'll probably touch on here later. It's a crypto asset manager, and you can store your RYU in there, and you're gonna it will just literally sit in there and it will aggregate more RYU. The whole point of the app is to incorporate new users from all over the world because it's extremely user friendly, and it has a bunch of capabilities. We're working with the Apple development team in order to get it on Apple Store as well. But primarily it's for business vendors that we're going to be bringing on so they can have a mobile application for their customers. But secondarily, we have Unity Ventures token, which we just launched about 2 days ago. And so that's going to be our DeFi platform governance token, store value pretty much for the company. It has super low supply. It's about 160K total supply. We just launched our decentralized exchange. So it basically serves as, like I said, the store value for the company. It represents the Unity DeFi platform that we just stood up. It's brand new. It's state of the art. We kind of lucked out and we were able to get the latest and greatest code for that platform. So, and I'll probably touch on that here later too. So we have 2 tokens currently with 2 separate purposes that kind of create that whole full spectrum DeFi ordeal.
Awesome. So you mentioned DeFi and how everything was amazing when it first came out last year, almost a year ago, which is absolutely crazy. I mean, everyone jumped on a wagon of it. Now we have a new buzz in the system, being the NFTs. And do you think there is a possibility that you could tie into this new craze in the space?
Yeah, I mean the NFT frenzy, I think originally started out, and I mean it's going to continue this way, but it's basically digital art. You're tokenizing it, so that way you can have 100% ownership of that on the blockchain. It's a public database essentially. So we are actually getting ready to launch our own NFT marketplace here in the next 3-4 days on our Unity DeFi platform. But we kind of we didn't just not just want, but on basically what we wanted to do was we wanted to create a theme, a purpose behind these NFTs. So essentially what we're going to be releasing here in the next 3-4 days are the characters in our whole NFT ecosystem. And we're working with a lot of different partners on this. And we want to build essentially the centralization kind of versus decentralization theme. And it's called Revolution Unity. It's
Revolution
so
Unity. I'm checking it
Yeah,
out.
and so you got characters. I mean, it's really, really cool. I'm really excited about it because it's funny. So we have this theme, good versus evil, and a lot of different characters. And our designers they're amazing. Like to see their work right now, it's incredible. What these artists can do. And what I'm really excited about is once it was we kind of finalized the theme, start branching into gaming and gaming rewards. I mean, there's so much you can do in the NFT marketplace, and you can do it on such a large scale, and you can have a story, and people can attach to the story. You can create real characters, and it's just there's so many things that people can relate to. And so we're going to be launching that here on Unity DeFi about 3-4 days. Like I said, just starting with the characters. Like, hey, here are 3 of the 5 characters. This is kind of phase 1. Let's do an introduction. And people are going to go on our platform. They're going to create profiles and get involved and have value to these characters and start to get to know them and their stories and the theme, Revolution Unity, and like what it's all about. But I guess what I wanted to finish with was after it was all said and done, and we were like, okay, this is it. Everybody's real passionate about it. Cool story. It's kind of a mix of like, you have the warriors in there. You have the evil government officials. You have the Rebel Alliance. Literally, there's a Rebel Alliance. So it's like there's a lot going on. But it's when I took a step back and I looked at it, it reminded me of kind of like the hardships that we're going through in blockchain, the kind of decentralization versus centralization. Because I used to work for the government, and I used to work for the Central Intelligence Agency for 5 years.
Oh, wow.
So I was working for a lot of, I mean, I'm not gonna, name drop anything, but for a lot of officials that I used to work for that, there was corruption involved, there was bad players involved, and so like I kind of got to see that real time, and it just really was something that never sat well with me, and I was hoping it was just kind of part of our country's evolution process, that eventually, the people would come first again, someday. So it's kind of like, I guess, a story of what I feel like the whole crypto community, blockchain community is kind of going through currently, just on a more, cool artist, way, I
Level.
guess.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah.
amazing. Was it really that bad? Sorry, we're gonna go a little bit off topic here, but what are your thoughts of actually working in the government? Because that is sort of your background. You understand the corruption of it and what comes with it. So what are your ways of protecting that in the space, and how do you think we can all take lessons from what you have experienced?
When I went there, so I came from the Marines. I was in a reconnaissance unit, a very small unit. It's a special operations based unit. So there was a lot of brotherhood, integrity, just values were different, And then I went and worked for the government, and I didn't really know what to expect. I honestly thought the standard was going to be a little higher because people had more responsibility. Politicians. I hadn't really been exposed to politicians, just kind of more so the military. And then I went there, and I was there for the first year, and then you start seeing the centralized money start flowing, and kind of how that actually really did work. And a lot of the people that were in charge of my particular unit, it just really just did not sit with me well, because I kind of lifted the veil and saw what was going on with, our leadership and power in general, and how it was being utilized, and how it was being, just the corruption that was kind of behind it. And, I mean, I understand it. It's kind of like a human evolution process. Like, people have a lot of power, and the people that seek the power, at least currently, may not be the best people for the positions. And like I said, it just really rubbed me wrong. And I was there for about 5 years. But around that third year is when I started kind of backstepping, like, man, this is not aligning with you at all. And as far as the crypto community, one thing that really attracted me to the crypto community, the blockchain community, was I've never seen such a community focused industry or environment. Like, it's crazy. People have telegrams and they have like thousands of people in there, and people are just, hanging out. Like, where else do you get that from? Where else do you get this kind of community support and teams, like the communities behind these teams and like supporting them? And, not hopefully, but there's a lot of teams out there that are focused on the community's well-being. And I don't know, as far as the bad actors in the space. I mean, it's unfortunate that we do have bad actors in this space, but that's also part of our growth process. Cryptocurrency, blockchain, it's such a new industry. We're still trying to find our identity as who we are, who we are, where we're going, what we're doing. I feel like a lot of people are still trying to figure that out, but ultimately there's no other place like this. And I was immediately drawn in, when I came here. It aligned with all the values that I personally try to carry or am attracted to. And it was pretty much the polar opposite of where I used to work for. And it just opened my eyes to, like, okay, like, I can get on board with this,
No, I totally understand.
As crazy as it can be, I can get on board with it.
The thing is,
and that's coming from,
you're surrounded by the people who reflect the same values. Well, hopefully majority of the people reflects the same values and come from the same realization of what is currently happening in the world, and that blockchain and the crypto space is the getaway for a better beginning for everyone and for the future generations. And I think that is such an important aspect, that once you realize that, I feel like once you hear someone actually interested into Bitcoin, even if they're strangers, you immediately have that connection with them. Like, it's really, like, it's nothing like you like chocolate, someone else likes the chocolate, cool, like, okay, whatever. I know it's a pretty bad comparison, but it's just
great.
It gives that sort of, I don't know, just immediate sisterhood, brotherhood. Like, we don't have things like that in England, so it's quite hard for me to find a word for it, but it just sort of creates this opportunity for you to connect with strangers that nothing else offers. And I love the fact that you're so focused on the community, because especially nowadays, it's so important to focus on the backstories of the communities. Which brings me perfectly to when I was having a look around your website whilst we were trying to set up the connection for the call, and a little search around your website. And I'm going to quote something from there, which is, our goal is to create a user-friendly experience. We currently provide 3 different types of mobile applications. RYI is our crypto payment solutions applications. Unity News is our mainstream blockchain news site. Save Rockets is a safer way to introduce to projects with long-term potential, with many more to come. So, can you please start off with the Save Rockets, and then we can go to Unity News and the crypto payment solution app as well.
Yeah, Save Rockets is live currently. It's something that we've been working on. It just kind of basically we launched it at the same time. We partnered with Eat the Blocks as far as developing. So we were launching Unity DeFi kind of at the same time we were launching Safe Rockets. But basically what Safe Rockets is, it's a token voting index. I wanted to create something fun for the community. Most of what we do is pretty serious. It's very like blockchain, crypto, community based, but like RYI Pay, it's a payment solutions app. Unity News, it's a blockchain news site. That was like something I really wanted. I've wanted it for years. But anyways, so Safe Rockets was like, okay, like we have the news application, we have the crypto asset manager. Like, let's do something fun. Like, let's create a token voting index for communities to come to, because you see a lot of these token voting indexes and they just list any token. So if you're new to crypto and you're going to these and you see like a top 5 crypto, but there's been no no one's vetted the token or anything. It's like, and you don't know like the steps to vet a token before you go in. I mean, I get DMs all the time saying, oh, I got rugged or this or that. Like, I didn't see it coming. I'm like, dude, I know, like I've been there. We've all been there. Unfortunately, there are steps, you have to go through to vet a project. So I basically just wanted to give something fun to the community, something fun, exciting, but also safe and secure. Like they can go on there, they can see the tokens. Our teams vetted the tokens, made sure that they were either audited, liquidity's locked, the team's vetted, etc. I personally talked to the team or something along those lines. Basically 2-3 metrics, nothing extreme, but at the same time, providing a little more confidence to a platform where anybody can come and see the tokens on there and they're here for the long term and they have the best interests of the investors, the holders, and stuff like that. And so that's kind of Safe Rockets. There's going to be a lot more additions that we're adding to it. We're just kind of Unity DeFi is consuming my life. But so we're going to circle back to that. Because we really want to add some really neat features too, like even like staking pages, kind of like launch, like a mini launch pad on there. Just some more fun, entertaining thing, token giveaways, stuff like that. So that's Safe Rockets.
That's awesome. That is really cool. Thank you for explaining that, because it did seem like just the fun part of the project, but obviously you've got the serious stuff as well. So you mentioned you're going to touch upon a little bit. You're going to touch upon the mobile app that you have. Is there any other one you'd like to elaborate on that we might not have mentioned? Because you've got so many different aspects to the project that I just don't want to miss out on anything.
Yeah, the whole reason for Unity News, RYIUnity. So I think we were just talking about this as far as creating a safe and secure environment, for our communities, for the crypto investors. But one of the biggest things, so I do a lot of in-person promotions, meaning that like I go out here in Los Angeles. The last one we did was at Amazon Westwood. We went out there, we had a promotion, poster boards,
full
out there with the people. Yeah, full out. It was ridiculous. It was a lot of fun. And we've done numerous in our live promotions, kind of interacting with the people and kind of getting a census of like what the people know as far as people that aren't involved in crypto. And the first couple of times I did it, I was shocked because we're in the space, we're in blockchain, we're in crypto. To us, it's very normal. And that's kind of how I was kind of looking at it, was that most people know what crypto is. They have, maybe like a Coinbase wallet or something, like, the some basic aspects of crypto. And that just wasn't the case. I was talking to everybody, the majority of people I've talked to here in Southern California. And this is, like I said, this is in live promotion, face to face, meeting these people. Crypto was intimidating to them. It was complicated. Setting up wallets, explaining to them exactly kind of what crypto was and how they could benefit from it and what is the purpose behind it. But more importantly, how do I use it? And almost 99% of the people I talked to were like, it's too complicated. And that's what's stopping them from bridging the gap, coming over to cryptocurrency and having that opportunity for a different way of life, a different way of approaching financial freedom, etc., opportunity. So that basically shifted a lot of our focus, I would say, about 3-4 months ago. So that's why we started creating these mobile applications, because that's kind of the new age, is everything's going to be an app or is an app. I talked to a couple of different commercial companies 3-4 months ago, and they're like, you have to have an app. And I'm like, okay,
we'll get an app.
Yeah, we'll get an app. I got it. Message received. So that's why we created Unity News. Basically, it's one click, and you're getting your blockchain news on your Android phone or your iPhone, so you can kind of stay up to date, learn about more of the fundamental analysis aspect of cryptocurrency, blockchain. And then RYIUnity, it's basically a very user-friendly. I'm new to crypto. I don't know much about it, but I can click on this app, and with 1 or 2 clicks, I'm already looking at different types of tokens. I can purchase tokens. I can trade tokens. There's a built-in swap on there. It's insanely quick and fast, which is, I'm really happy about that, the processing speed. We're going to be adding, it should be actually getting updated as we speak. We're adding what's called a blockchain academy to it. It's a very simple like user guide, and it's a very detailed, and it basically explains all the fundamentals of what blockchain is, what is crypto, what do you use it for, what is staking, why do people even stake. So like all the basic principles of cryptocurrency are all going to be in this application. And we're working really closely with the Apple development team. We registered as a blockchain development company with them probably like a couple weeks ago. So we've been working with their team. We meet with them like once a week. And so they're kind of walking us through the process, more so on the regulation side, because Apple is extremely strict with what is on that application. It's crazy. They give me headaches all the time. They stress me out. But we're working with them. You know, they walk us through the process. They are very patient. They work with us, and that's all I can ask for. So they're making sure the app is fully integrated as the way as far as the standard that they want. And that's great because we're shooting for a top tier application then. And that's going to be coming out here on Apple probably within the next week. We just had our fourth and hopefully final meeting. They said final meeting, but we'll see. So I'm really excited to get that on Apple because we have a lot of e-commerce, clothing vendors, rental vendors out here that are just literally waiting for us to incorporate the RYIUnity into their payment solutions with their companies and stuff. And we've been talking to those companies for a long time. We've had a lot of meetings with them. It's just really eye-opening when you kind of step outside the crypto bubble and you talk to people about cryptocurrency, and it's just so foreign. They know they need to get involved and probably should get involved. But then you talk about like, this is how you get involved. And they're like, yeah, no. You know, like, because it is complicated. It is.
It is. I always say that it's really hard at the start, but once you understand, it's extremely easy, and you question yourself at the start. Like I've explained over the weekend, I was out with my friends, which was like an Airbnb. We had an amazing time together, and obviously crypto touched upon the topic, and I just literally showed them the app. Which up to you. I went with Coinbase because it was just easy to get it, because we had a poor signal. So they used Coinbase, they downloaded it quickly, and they were shocked actually that once you know what to use, where to press, how easy it is, you know. And I think it's actually the lack of awareness that it sounds actually more complicated than it needs to be. And I think that by allowing because at the end of the day, the people that we want to reach out to are not a techie people, let's put it this way. And you have to make sure that it is available to anyone, because at the end of the day, we want the adoption to happen. And if things are still this complicated, the adoption is never going to happen, because we know that there is a use case, a massive user case for the blockchain and a need for cryptocurrency in our lives. But we're not going to get there if things are not going to get easier, unfortunately. So I'm really, really glad that you're working on and focusing on this aspect of, and hopefully Apple's not going to be too much of a pain for much longer for you, because I heard they can be pretty difficult to launch the app on. That's what I heard over the years.
Yeah, they've been, like I said, I mean, I can't say anything bad about Apple. They've been 100% supportive, especially when after we registered, they kept pressing us to register under them as a blockchain company. It's like once we did that and we were able to finalize that, which was a process in itself, they've been treating us a lot different because they know we're here for the long term and committed to fulfilling their requirements. So I think that was a huge milestone for us. But like you said, I mean, the biggest thing is bridging that gap. And once I saw kind of how short, not short, but how much that was needed, that really shifted my focus to bridging the gap from the crypto community to the rest of the world. So that's kind of like a huge pillar of ours, if not like the top 1 or 2 pillar that we focus on.
Fantastic. I'm really glad we touched upon the topic, because focusing on the people who have no idea what to do is my main focus in the space, because I've been there, I've done that. The way I bought cryptocurrency 4 years ago is absolutely pathetic and embarrassing, and I don't even want to think about it or think that anyone is making the same mistakes as me. So, but speaking of a long haul approach, on your website, you can find information about the Unity DeFi, the AMM, and I was interested by the way you put things on there, especially about protecting you from the rug pulls. So how are you going to incorporate features that protect against things such as, the rug pulls that you mentioned on the website when it comes to the Unity DeFi?
Yeah, so that's, I would say the primary focus is security, because we need to have a safe and secure platform for people to be able to utilize, especially the Unity DeFi. I mean, we just launched this like 2 weeks ago, and it's already got the staking, the farming, the exchange is super efficient, the swap, the NFT platform is coming in days. The Unity Lotto is really cool, a lot of fun. So we're just going to keep adding to it. It was kind of like once we launched Foundation with Eat the Blocks, that we're working with their senior developer, super talented, and we're going to move fast and furious with it. I'm not really trying to waste any time on that platform. Like, I want to add as many features as possible to that platform. And the only reason we can do that is because we have the support of these commercial blockchain development companies. So we want to expand that platform. And luckily, like I said, we work with their senior developer. So he was able to implement all the security features necessary. So it's currently routed through PancakeSwap. So we have a safe and secure router for the price feeds. We also have an anti-whale feature that's incorporated into that. We've been audited by Solidity Finance. We're about to release their that report here shortly. We did that about a week or two before. So we've worked with their team closely, and so we've pretty much put everything in place to ensure that that platform is safe and secure. And I've worked with the senior developer on other platforms as well. And so we've been talking about this for probably about, I would say, a couple months before we even launched this platform. And I told him, our number one thing is safety and security. And that's it. I mean, it's whatever we got to do to meet the metrics necessary to have a safe and secure platform is what we're going to do. And that's what we ended up doing. And yeah, so that's where we're at with that platform as far as the safety security. And it was a lot smoother, like I said, just because we did have a very senior developer put that platform together. He's seen it all. Because I was troubleshooting, not troubleshooting him, but I was hammering him with questions like, what if this happens? What if that happens? Hey, I saw this happen to another platform, like drilling him. And he was just like, he had it covered. And I was like, okay, this is great. So basically just, I'll do what you say and I'll support you, and we'll have a safe and secure platform. And, that's the way it's been. And we're just going to keep adding features, security features as we go. And like our number two, he was been in the infosec security sector for 20 years. So, I mean, he's been hawking our platform, daily. So we have the Eat the Block senior developer team. My number two, CTO. All he did for 20 years was, red teaming platforms. So he's been on that like a hawk as well. So I'm pretty lucky. We're pretty fortunate that we have so much support when it comes to that.
No, that is such a good focus and the way of avoiding anything going the wrong way around. But what concerns me, or what I'm thinking about, is how do you actually different from other related projects? Because there's so many similar platforms that are trying to accomplish the same thing and target the same audience. So what differentiates you? Like 3 things. I'll be happy with 3.
All right. I'd say so that's a really good question. I can go on with this for a long time, because my whole thing is we want to bring a uniqueness for the community, because our investors, communities, they deserve that. Our personality is going to get incorporated into this platform. And one of our biggest things is bringing crypto to the world. So what we want to do with that is we've been working with these e-commerce companies. We're waiting on certain developments to get processed through. RYPay is completely compatible with Unity DeFi.
Mm-hmm.
So our mobile application is actually fully integratable with Unity DeFi, making it extremely user-friendly. So on Unity DeFi itself, we're basically going to make it a one-stop shop. So we have the Lotto, we have the NFT marketplace. We're going to be incorporating e-commerce. We wanted to turn that staking pool into not necessarily a staking pool, but a token marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to make it almost like you can go shopping for various tokens. Yeah, you can go on a shopping frenzy and stake some Unity Ventures token and get various tokens. That's kind of like, we basically are going to take all of our developments and are going to incorporate it into Unity DeFi. And so we have our merch, clothing store that's getting incorporated there. We have our governance platform that's already incorporated into Unity DeFi. That's a huge part of our community, the governance platform, especially as we start pursuing these venture businesses. So kind of backtracking to what we were talking about, a big part of our ecosystem is pursuing these business ventures. And one of the first big ones is called UnityFly. And it's basically going to be a rental service business, scooters, bikes, all that stuff. But it's going to be with a crypto emphasis focus, payment solutions. So that's why we had to work so hard with Apple team in order to get that online, because we have a lot of different various business ventures that that are already in the works. And once Apple has solidified us as far as RYPay being incorporated under Apple iOS, then a lot of this is going to start going live, but it's going to be based out of Unity DeFi. So you're going to be able to access all these features, all these services are all going to be incorporated in Unity DeFi. So it's going to be a massive platform.
Awesome.
And it's all going to be centralized there. Keep it simple.
Obviously. We don't do centralized stuff over here. Duh. So that's all the questions that I obviously had for you. Is there anything you would like to mention? This is your time to shine, Jonathan.
I mean, I think we pretty much covered everything. The biggest thing I think is just the importance of like where we're going, and our huge focus as far as bridging the gap and stepping outside of our bubble and bringing people into our bubble. And, I'm fortunate to have such a great team, and everybody's super high energetic. I try to stay high energetic.
You're doing great.
But we want to take, like I said, the biggest thing is just I always think about it like this. What do people do every day? And when I think about that, I just think about, okay, this is what a routine kind of looks like for people. They get up in the morning, they drink coffee, they go to work, and various applications that they use throughout the day. Now, how do we bring them into the blockchain? And that's kind of how, at least like the immediate team, that's how we think, that's how we operate. And that's what we want to do, is bridge that gap, develop decentralized applications so they can do that. And that's where we're going. That's what we're doing. And we're not stopping.
Fantastic. I love it. So you actually touched upon something I forgot to ask you. What is the future for you guys? What's planned for next year, this quarter of 2021, and the next year as well, and even further down? What's in plans?
So I'd say for Q4 is going to be the primary focus is completing this integration with our vendors, our business vendors, as far as being able to provide them with payment solutions. The next is going to be the NFT platform, creating that whole multiverse, and getting that kind of starting to develop. We have a lot of people that we're working with that have quite a bit of experience in it. We're on the Knowles SEO platform, so I've been working with the other project managers too, and how we can incorporate, collaborate, and grow that ecosystem into something massive. Knowles is doing a phenomenal job, and we're very fortunate to be a part of that. So how do we expand that and contribute to them as well by using kind of what we're strong in, as far as bridging that gap from people that understand crypto to people that don't understand crypto through decentralized applications, coordinate with them. But overall, we're working with Solly Labs. Solly Labs is a massive company, blockchain development company. We worked with them for a long time. So we're looking at a lot of big developments with them, and that's going to be coming in, I would say, end of maybe Q1. We'll start seeing that as far as establishing a blockchain, Unity network, kind of like your very big ticket items. But we have so much in front of us currently right now, and then I'm trying to keep, my feet planted where they are. It's so easy to jump 10 feet ahead, and be like, all right, let's do this. So I have a tendency to do that sometimes. Yeah, exactly. So I'm trying to stay disciplined, and focus on developing, what's right in front of me. And I've gotten a lot better at that. It just took me a little bit to,
well,
be
you've
able to
learned
do
something
that.
new, so that always pays off, right? You're improving yourself as well as our community.
Yeah.
You're improving yourself as well, so it's a win-win in my opinion. Fantastic. Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for spending the time with me. It took us a little while, guys, to actually get together and make this interview happen, and I'm over the moon that we managed to, because it just sounds amazing. I can't wait to check out further all the applications and actually get to use once they come out on Apple. So, Jonathan,
Yes.
please tell me, where can we find a little bit more information if anyone would be interested in finding out a little bit more, Twitter, Telegram groups, website, yourself, the project. It's your time to shine.
Yeah, I would say just 3 links that are, and we kept it super user friendly. So you can literally just go to unitydefi.com. We have the new fancy UI that I love. It's great. We kind of lucked out on that. We just stood up we basically did a version 2 of our homepage, RYIUnity.com. And then for Twitter, RY_Unity. And those 3, that's really all you need, and you'll be on your way.
Awesome.
All
Yeah,
information will be there.
Exactly. And I love when people keep things simple, because it just avoids so many mistakes and possible scams from happening, So I'm going to avoid, speaking of scams, I'm going to drop the links to those websites you've mentioned, and some other ones if I manage to find, into the link below from the video, so you guys can go and research it yourself if you don't know much about RYI. And yeah, thank you so much, Jonathan, for coming along. I really wish you all the best. I can't wait to hopefully catch up with you in some time in 2022 and see if you managed to deliver all the promises and how the development for 2022 is coming along. How does that sound to you?
Challenge accepted. Let's go.
Thank you so much, Jonathan. I'll speak with you shortly.
Okay. Sounds great. Thank you.